Hey, Denny, are you here? Denny, you here yet? Hey, Denny, you there? We'll either need to have you call into the conference line or you can join with your computer, audio, and speakers. We don't have you muted, so. Let me know if you can hear me. You can type in the chat box and communicate with me like that. If you can't, for some reason, hear me or you can't get on the line. I can also call you directly if you're having troubles getting in. So if you want me to do that, just provide me the phone number to call you in on and I can call you directly. Hello, hello. Anybody home? Let me try to call your store. Must have got that phone number wrong. Anybody there? Denny, can you hear me? hello. If you would, just call into the number I've listed right there and give the meeting ID. That way I don't have to do my voice over IP phone and stream this to you at the same time. That'd be great. If you can't do that, let me know and I'll call that number. Let me know if you're going to try to call into the line or if I should call you. Okay. Calling right now. Hey, Denny, there you go. This is Kat with Easy Order. How are you, man? Right on. The webinars, yeah, they're weird. But they're the best way for me to kind of go over everything with you, and you can see my screen and we can chat at the same time, so it works out pretty well. So let me give you a little bit of a background on what's going on, and then I'll ask you a couple questions about how you guys run your business and how you do sales and things like that. But David, I guess, is the owner, and he had signed up with Easy Order quite a few months ago and never really used it, but he was paying for it. And so he went to cancel, and I said, well, hey, instead of canceling, why don't we let you give you 6 months for free, and then I'll work with somebody at your location to train them up on how to use it, how to do best practices, how to really get new customers with it, and we'll kind of go from there. And so that's kind of where we're at. You guys have a free account for 6 months, and so I just wanted to get with you and just show you how it works. In this day and age, as a cartridge world, if you can't take online orders from people, you're going to lose orders out to other people who can take orders online or can order online. And so that's what Easy Order does for you. It kind of gives you a way to not only service your customers online, but it's a full marketing suite. So it can help you get new customers. It can help you maintain your existing customers. And it's really a great system. Most of Cartridge World use it. We're the #1 ordering and marketing system for all of Cartridge World. And at the price that we charge for it, it's like 35 bucks a month, and Cartridge World pays the other half. It's really the best tool you can have to really manage your business and go out and get new business. So that being said, tell me a little bit about your store and how you market right now, and what kind of things you do to drive sales and that sort of thing.
Okay, well, we're a very small store. Basically, I am the only employee. I do the outside sales. I do the in-store operations. I do.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Right. Right. No, that's sales job. You're always always working. Even if you go out to eat, you end up working. Looking for somebody with a printer. I get that. Um, okay. Well, my background, that gives me a lot of insight on what you do. You're kind of like a one-man show, and then you have some help from the owners as well. So totally understand that. Just so you know, my background, we're not just software guys trying to sell you software. I've had my own brick and mortar, cartridge business. We started back in 2005, and my dad had a pharmacy, and he wanted to bring an inkjet refilling as part of the business, and so he did that. And we ended up building it out and selling toner, because all our business customers needed toner. We learned how to refill toner cartridges. And then from that, all of our customers wanted to order online. And at that point, we were trying to decide, do we get a website to fulfill that like everybody else has, or what do we do? And my dad is kind of who's my business partner, is kind of a serial entrepreneur. He's always kind of thinking outside the box. And so his main idea was, let's make ordering really easy for the customer, and think about the customer first, and think about all the work we have to do last. And if we do that, maybe the customers will reward us with their loyalty. Maybe they'll keep ordering from us. Maybe they'll do business with us over somebody else because of this kind of customer-centric feel that we have going on. And he said, I want my website to sort of reflect that. My dad's kind of an older guy, and so he's 75 right now. And so whenever he goes to his bank, he had an icon on his desktop where he clicked on it, and it just opened a browser and went to his bank. And he thought that was a really easy way to get to wherever he needed to go. And so we sort of created this system that was focused on the customer, and not every other e-commerce website out there focuses on get the customer to the website and let them do all the work, and then let them order and find their product and stuff. Whereas Easy Order, it's more like a concierge service. We call it VIP for B2B. And so your best business-to-business clients, who are really the bread and butter of the business, if you can take care of them in a way that's different than anything else that's out there, you're going to keep their business, and they're going to be good customers, and it really locks them in as loyal customers after you show them this system. So I'm going to go through this just like you've never seen it before, which you probably haven't seen it before. Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. At least you have a little bit of background. You've probably seen it before. Just some basics on how you get to Easy Order. If you go to CartridgeReorder.com, that's going to be your login page, and that's where you're going to go to log into Easy Order and get to this account where I'm logged in right now. And on the chat box, I gave you your username and password. The username CW-Indiana, and your password is a long password, which you can copy and paste from that chat box. It's like 44HYCIPW. Anyway, that's what you enter to get into Easy Order, and that's what gets you to what we call the control panel. Right here, this is the home page control panel. And so from here, there's two real basics of Easy Order. One is, how do you set up an existing customer who's doing business with you, and then show them how to order? And the other thing is, how do I use this for new sales, so I can go and not just cold call, but I can cold call with a purpose, and I can have ways to follow up that I didn't have before. And so those are the two things I'll be showing you today. The first thing, when you log in, everything's branded to Cartridge World, of course, and everything here is under Manage Customers to start off with. So let's say you're putting in right now, you know, let's say you're working with us later on today, you have a customer who really likes you guys, and there's a great customer. Everybody has one of those. You can start with your best customers and put those guys in, because you can tell them, hey, look, I'm going to try something new with you, new way to order. It's ordering online. It's going to be really easy for you, and it's going to help us in the long run. So let me try this out with you. And they'll probably say, yeah, that's fine. And they'll try it out and give you their real feedback. And so that's how we suggest you kind of start. So I'll go to manage customers. And if you notice, all the action buttons are up at the top here with easy order. So if you're ever looking on you know, where are things to do, it's going to be up at the top. We also kind of put these little thought bubbles above each thing. So if you don't know what something is in easy order, most likely you can just hover over it and it will tell you exactly what that thing does. So we have that as well. And so let's say we're starting with one of your new customers. I'm going to click on add a new customer, and that's going to take us to the add customer screen. And here, what we're doing is kind of setting up, because easy order, you could have one customer with one location, or you could have one customer with 400 locations. I've helped many cartridge worlds get national business all over the country by being able to service them with easy order. So this is where you'd be setting up the first customer name, and then in a minute you'll set up their first location. So this is kind of like the generic customer information right here. So I'm going to call this CATS CPAs. CPAs are great customers, especially during this time because they print so much. And then if you had multiple stores, you could assign them to a store. The other notable thing here is that because easy order is not e-commerce, and you kind of show a price online and you live and die by that price, which is kind of the downfall of e-commerce, you can have different pricing on different customers' order forms, and nobody's going to know the difference because it's just between you and your customer. So if you do give somebody a better price, or if you do give somebody a standard price, and you put that on the order form, you know, nobody's going to see it but you and your client. So if you give somebody a special price, maybe you need to do something to get that business, and you want to lock their prices so that when you do change pricing in your system, it doesn't update their pricing. You can lock the order form right here at this lock order form. Everything else is pretty much similar here, but I wanted to mention that because that's a big feature of easy orders. You can have different pricing on different customers' order forms. I'm going to go accounting. 123 Way Drive, Austin, Texas. That's where we're at, Austin, Texas, 78660. Okay, all this other stuff you really don't have to worry about. These are more advanced features for sales reps and things like that. So once I put in this information for this one customer, I'm going to click Save, and what it's going to do now is we have a company now called CATS CPA, and right now it takes me to add the first location for CATS CPA. So again, a customer could have the one location that they have, or they could have many locations. And here's where you start differentiating that. See this location right here? If you only have one location for a customer, we fill this out for you. So it's CATS CPA, and they have the one location of CATS CPA. But if you're going to have multiple locations, you could go in here and go CATS CPA Austin, or CATS CPA Dallas, or CATS CPA Houston, and you could then set up all the different locations for the CATS CPA company. Does that make sense, the difference between a customer and a location? Cool. So you put in the location Austin, and you have to give them a login. I usually do something similar to the company name, CATS CPA. That's available. And then we give a kind of secure password. You can change that to something more simple, or you can just leave it. 90% of the time, the customers will be logging in with that desktop icon, so they're not going to have to use their username or their password. So if you keep it secure, it just makes their account more secure. But you can change it if you want to. I'm going to go Cat Controlla. That's me. I'm going to put my email address in so that I can get all the correspondence, show you like I was a customer. Put in a phone number. Okay, the next notable thing is this order reminder. Again, we're not just an order taking system. We're a way for you to sort of manage your customers and market to them and kind of keep in front of them. And so the very first thing you're going to want to do is set an order reminder for each customer. And it can be different per customer. If somebody orders more frequently or less frequently, you can change the order reminder days. But what this will do is it'll send you a notification when CATS CPA of Austin hasn't ordered in 90 days. And it's good to know that, because I remember having, when I had my business, you know, you'd see like an old bill or something float by, and it would remind you of a customer, and you go, oh man, I haven't heard from CATS CPA in like 6 months. And then you check on them, and they're ordering from somebody else because somebody else walked in and got them from you, and then you hadn't checked on them, and so you may have lost the business. And so the order reminder is in there to make sure you stay in front of your customers. So to let you know, hey, Cat CPA hasn't ordered in X amount of days. We also have a feature you can turn on that's sort of a newer feature where if you want the system to send that email out, that, hey, we miss you, we haven't heard from you in a while, one of our reps will be contacting you shortly, that the system can send that out for you as well, so it can help you follow up. A lot of the busy work, especially as a one-man show like you, for most of the time, a lot of the busy work, this is helping you keep track of all that, so you don't have to remember to follow up on every single thing. You can let the system do the heavy work for you. Okay, so order reminders there. If you wanted to have different sales reps, we have a whole sales rep system in there, so you could tag the two owners as sales reps, and whatever they sell, you can tag their customers to that, and you can track that based off of just wanting to know who's bringing in what. You could do that if you wanted to, or if you just want to keep everything in the house account, you can as well. The tax rate, you can do per customer per order form. So if it's 0, if it's like a school or a government entity, which are great sources for customers, or if you have your like local tax rate, whatever that is, you can put that in there. There's a spot to default your tax rate, so we can set that later on, and then it'll always pop up that unless you put something in here different. So it'll always do your default tax rate. Don't worry about this. This is if you wanted to give somebody a discount over your already discounted prices. So you're going to have pricing in here that's going to be lower than the OEMs. And if you wanted to give a discount over that, you could do that there, but not a lot of people use that. We built that for a couple of customers that had to have that. Delivery and shipping, I don't know, is everything free delivery and shipping with you guys, like most cartridge worlds? Or do you have a cool? Some people have a dollar amount, and a lot of cartridge worlds have switched to using this just so they don't deliver something if somebody orders a $20 cartridge. If you wanted to do this, you could always put, and this is kind of what the standard charge is, it's been $7, and it's free shipping over anything over $75. And what that'll do is it'll upsell the customer. So if a customer gets a $20 cartridge and they're checking out, it'll say, oh, by the way, you get free shipping if you order up to $75 worth of stuff. So it helps you upsell them to get them to that number where it's worth you really delivering it to them. And if they do order something that's just $20, it'll tack a $7 charge onto it for shipping and handling and delivery fee. You don't have to use that, of course, but I've seen a lot of people start to use that because we do have free shipping, but it's anything over a certain dollar amount, and that just makes sure you're not running around for really small orders. And again, can use it for whatever you want to. All this is just kind of how the order form shows up to the customer, so no big deal there. Everything defaults to yes. If you have special notes like talk, I can't type today, talk to Cat after 3 p.m. Just a note that you want to see on the account but that your customer would never see, you can put notes right there for the customer. Here's the shipping, here's the billing, you can copy that down to billing. Or if you wanted to use that previous address that we created for the company, Cat CPA, so that you're maybe billing corporate, you can click that and it's going to bill the main company of Cat CPA if they were all paying for it through corporate. Okay, I'm going to save here. And that's going to take us to the first order form for Cat CPA. So this is the first location. This is what they have at their location. And so what we have in the download section of Easy Order, and I'll show you this where to get this in a second, but you go to downloads and we have this start here customer files, and basically this is a customer printer worksheet. And so if you can send this to any existing customer, or if you're trying to get a new customer, you could say if you're interested in online ordering, just fill out this PDF. It's a digital PDF, so all I have to do is type in it and save it and send it back to you. There's no need to print it out and write on it and scan it and fax it back to you. You just type in it and it says, what printer do you have, who uses the printer, what make and model is it, and what department is it in. And with that information, you can come in here and easily fill this information out and then have the customer save it and send it back to you. You can go out as you're cold calling, with people and have one of these sheets printed out and use it as your worksheet. Just quickly take some notes on it, write down the printers they have. It's just a good worksheet to have when you're getting new stuff. So we have that available in the download section. So I'm going back to, let's say I get the printer information from the customer, and you really want to get the printer information, now not necessarily the cartridge information. That may be all you have is the cartridge information, and that's fine. But when you're adding printers to a system, 12 plus things could go with a printer, whereas a cartridge is single, each single cartridge. So if you get the printer model, you can add things a lot faster. So let's say I'm going over to here and I'm going to add a new item to an order form. And from here, you can select your category. So we have Reman, which is aftermarket, OEM, which is brand new, other, which is maybe custom. Other like compatible. Maybe you have a compatible brand you want to use as other. Most people just use Reman, and somebody else came in. Did you happen to call in on the line? Okay, that's weird. Okay, cool. So I'm going to say Reman, that's aftermarket. And then we keep, pretty much in here, we don't have a crazy database of like everything in the world, but we do have a database of everything that's really being sold. And so we don't have a lot of weird off brands, but we do have all the big major brands. So Reman HP printer or cartridge is how you select there. And from here, you just type in the model number. So if you're looking for like a 2600, don't type in color laserjet to look for 2600. Just type in the model number 2600 and more stuff will come up for that. And so let's say you wanted the color laserjet 2600. You select that, and then notice all the cartridges for that printer come up. We have the black, there's the dual pack black, we have the cyan, the yellow, the magenta. There's even fuser units, transfer rollers, the Xerox branded compatible cartridges for that printer. And I'm just going to click save. These are all the cartridges I want to show the customer. I'm going to call this, CATS color printer. And I'll put that in the sales department so you can give them departments and they can filter by departments. And now here you have the cartridge, the model number and all that. Then we have the retail price. We have the kind of standard price, which is 30% off the retail price. That's how we get that number. And then you can put your cost, you can put the yield, you can put your SKU number next to it. These retail prices, we're unique because we have a system that goes out and scrapes Staples' website for the most up-to-date retail pricing on items every week. And so every week we're getting in new pricing for cartridges. So if HP goes up, we'll go up with HP and our prices will reflect that. On a customer's order form, it will actually indicate to you if you have a item and that price has gone up. So there's that. This price right here is basically don't really even care about this price. This is just 30% off the retail price. You're going to price these items differently no matter what, probably, because everybody does. And so you just want to go in and change the prices to whatever you're selling the cartridge for. And this again can be per customer per order form. You don't have to do this for everybody. You can do it different prices on each individual order form. If you did want to set these prices though permanently as you're working with a client, you can check this global box, and if you notice, it's opening up these fields over here when I check that. And if I were to save this, it would set the $65 price globally for the Q6000A. So the next time you pull this cartridge up, if you globalized and saved it, you would now have this $65 price come up rather than the one I had before. And so you're kind of pricing your items as you build order forms in this way. And like I said, you can put your cost. If you guys have an internal SKU, you refer to it as. Some people will also put vendor codes. So if you get it from like Clover, you could put this and maybe put their part number. So that helps you order it when you get it in. Whatever you want to use that for, we give you a SKU field that you can use that for. I'm not going to globalize these right now just because I don't want to put pricing in your system that you haven't checked. So I'm going to save that. That's going to create, an item on the order form. We'll just do one extra one, just to have a decent looking order form. Reman HP printers. I'll do an inkjet this time, 8600. OfficeJet Pro 8600. We'll do the chipped versions of the cartridges. And then I'll save that. Again, I could go through and change these prices if I want to, but I'm not. So we have these two items on the order form. You can, drag and drop these things around if you want to order them in a different way. If you want to edit anything, maybe you messed up on a price or just want to go back and check it, you can edit right there. You can also delete the item if you want to completely take it away from the order form. Do you guys do the no-cost printer lease program at all, the Why Buy a Printer program? Cool. So just know that when you start getting into it, this tool can help you a lot because who wants to sit there and watch spreadsheets to see when leases are running out? And so what you can do is you set them up on Easy Order, and let's say this printer is the one that has the Y printer, printer on it, and you can sit there and go, okay, I'm going to go 2 years out. I don't think I went 2 years out. Yeah, 2020. And you can set that date as the end date, and then we have a setting that'll ask you how many days you want to be informed. So 30 days, 60 days before the lease is over, it'll warn you that this printer is leases up. And what a lot of people do when you're doing the no cost or the Y printer program, they'll put the serial number for the printer in the name so that you know exactly what printer you're talking about when you do the lease, so that it's all in there. So it would look like Cat's Color printer, serial number, and then this will remind you on 30 days before this date that lease needs to be renewed. And so instead of you always checking spreadsheets to make sure things aren't coming up, this will just send you notifications when those things are coming up. So it helps you out with that part of the program. Okay, so now we've set up the order form. We're ready to send it out to the customer. We're ready to get this in their hands. All you have to do is click mail, and that's going to send a welcome email out to the customer. So successfully sent to my email address. And I'm opening up my email. Hold on one sec. So this is the welcome email that just got sent out. It'll say, greetings, Cat with Cat CPA. Welcome to Easy Order. We've created this online order form tailored specifically to your needs. And we really wanted to click on this. Click on this to download your personal desktop icon. It's the first thing we give them. There's also a video. If they watch this video, it takes them from this welcome email and shows them step by step how to download the icon the way we want them to. And so all they have to really do is watch this, and when they're done watching this, they can click on this link and they can download their icon. Now, you will have some people. I had somebody the other day couldn't get the icon installed, and they were using Windows 95 still. And so you will run into some people that just don't have up-to-date technology or something. Maybe they have a really serious network administrator that won't allow them to download anything. Just as an administrator, I want you to know that you can always log in manually 100% no matter what by clicking on this link, which is your landing page for Easy Order, and then them entering their username and their password. They'll be able to 100% get in no matter what the customer is with this bit of information. So just know, although we want them to click on this, they can always still use this information to get in. And of course, it tells your information down here and everything like that. So let's go through the process of getting that icon on the customer's desktop, show you what they're going to go through. So you basically just click here to download the desktop icon. And this takes to the download desktop icon page. And so it's really big. We want them to click on this huge thing that says download or install your desktop icon. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to click on that now, and it's going to say, what do you want to install it? I'm going to say my desktop, and I'll save that. And I do want you to notice that it says right here, don't want to or can't install any software on your computer. Although the icon is very unintrusive, we basically have a bookmark version of the icon that installs no software whatsoever. So I'm going to download that just to show you the difference between the two, so you can understand that. Okay, so I'm going to close all this down. Here are the two icons that I have downloaded. One is branded Cartridge World, and the bookmark one is obviously just like a bookmark that you would put on any website to anything. But we really want them to install this one because we want to get that Cartridge World brand on their desktop, because that's an invaluable piece of marketing to have your little icon sitting on their desktop. So I'm just going to double click on this. Because we're an unknown publisher, Microsoft is always going to come back with this little thing. Windows protected your PC. It just says we're an unknown publisher because we're not a big publisher like Microsoft. And so you just click run anyway. And then even if your Avast antivirus, hits it with something, it can scan it, it can do whatever, and then it'll just install it. And I'm just going to click on yes, and that's going to go ahead and install, and then I'll close it. And then Avast can always, bypass that. And so as soon as it's installed, it opens up their order form. So this is the Cat CPA Austin order form. These are the items we put on there. Here's the OfficeJet Pro. Here's the LaserJet that we put on there. And just to show you how the customer, interacts with this, basically all you have to do is now to order for the customers, click on this icon. It instantly logs them in, opens up a web browser. and they're at their order form. When they need to order, all they have to do is go, okay, I need this one for the laser, and I need some color inkjets for the 8600. I'm going to review my order. Everything looks good. I'm going to say no rush. I don't need a PO number. Okay, I'm going to save $7, $8 on my order today and submit. And so, the difference between this and what a customer now does to order from you is right now they have to probably get a list together, or they have to have a list. Then they call you. Somebody there has to answer the phone. Somebody there has to take their information down correct and make sure that it's not, the customer didn't give them wrong numbers. And then they go through and give you all the information. They probably don't get a confirmation back of the things that they ordered. And so, there's one of those things where, this is going to give them a professional confirmation of their order to you. And it was really done in 3 clicks. So this is the easiest way to order cartridges out there. And if you can make your customer's experience just 3 clicks, super simple, they don't have to look through anything else. This is like a VIP service that you'll give your customers that'll really make them stay with you, because, usually, just like yourself, you have many hats in their business. The person ordering cartridges are doing many different things. And so ordering cartridges is not the highlight of their day. So if you can make it easy and you can make it quick and you can make it simple for them to order, they're going to appreciate you. And, this icon being on their desktop is huge for you guys. Because if you look at it, it stands out over almost all the other icons. And even having that cartridge roll branding on their desktop, they see it 5 days a week, maybe 8 hours a day, probably 300 or 400 times in a week. They see your branding. And so you bet when it's time to order cartridges, somebody says, click on the cartridge roll icon, order cartridges, that they're going to remember this has been sitting on their desktop, and this is where they're going to go to order cartridges, nowhere else. So it's really important to have that icon on their desktop. Just to show you this, though, in case a customer has trouble downloading the icon and you get them to download this bookmark, it works the exact same way, except there's no software to install. It's just like a bookmark. You just click run on it, and it does the same thing. It opens up their order form instantly, and they can order in the same way. The only reason that we want you to install this one, obviously, is because the cartridge roll branding is so much more powerful on this one than it is on this one. But just know that the customer can use a bookmark if you want to. You can throw away the other installers and just keep this right at the desktop, and the customer can always get to you. Now, when you're out there, calling on customers, they have to remember your phone number. They have to remember your name, probably have a business card laying around to order from you, because that's how they remember how to get to you, but not with Easy Order. With Easy Order, you're connected to them in a way you could never be connected with any other customer, because now, again, you just click on the icon and they don't have to remember your name, phone number, email address, website. They don't have to remember anything to get back to their order form. It's just instantaneous access to their stuff that they need to order from you. So we found out that when we started doing this and working with Easy Order with clients, that our client base, about 90%, as soon as they got this and they got the explanation of how this works, the light bulb went off and they're like, oh, this is super easy. And 90% of our customers ordered again the next time. And so it's the same statistics for any of our people. If you can show your customer how to get this on their desktop icon and show them how to order from you, they're going to order from you no matter what, unless there's a problem with a product or a price or whatever else, and you guys can work that out. So any questions on that first part of how to kind of set up an order form, how to send it to the customer, the icon, all that kind of stuff? Yeah, pretty clear. And honestly, it seems like a lot when we're talking about it, but once you do it, it's a lot of rinse and repeat. You do the same thing for each customer. So once you get the process down, it's going to be very simple to keep continuing, because it's not different all the time. It's just the same process that you go through with each customer. And really getting to understand how to use that icon is the most important part of Easy Order, because this is what will keep them from calling you. Phone call volume will drop, which will allow you to, the more people you put on this, your phone call volume will drop, which means you have more time to do the million other things you do and not spend time answering phones and taking model numbers down from customers. And if a customer says, hey, I'm used to calling you and I like calling you, and so can I continue calling you? You can just say, that's fine, you can continue calling me. And what a lot of people do is they will create an order form for the customer that still has to call all the time. But then they'll go into their system, and when the customer needs to order, they'll just look that customer up, and instead of sitting on the phone writing down these numbers, they'll just go, okay, which printer was it for? And then you tell them, and then you find the printer, and you go, okay, you need one of these, full set of these, and you need, black for this one, and then order it for the customer so they get a confirmation email that's really professional, and then you can see how that works. Let me see if my order came through. I was going to show you what that looked like. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so anyway, that's the kind of part where you get the customer to get the icon, and you really make that important for them to know, or you use it for them when they call in, because oh crap. Hold on 1 second. I'll log myself out, and my password thing is not available. Cartridge reorder. I tell you, this thing autofills my passwords, and I take it off while I'm training because it gets really. All right. Okay, so the next bit is once you get your established customers on Easy Order, and again, Easy Order is like your best employee. It's never going to call in sick. It's never going to have boyfriend-girlfriend problems. It's going to be here taking orders 24 hours a day. So the more people you can get on this, the more it's going to help you get a lot of this busy work off your plate, so you can focus on doing more important stuff, getting out there and selling more, things like that, rather than just managing the fires that pop up. I know how it is. I used to spend some days just managing fires and couldn't even get out to market. So this will help you do a lot of that. The next step is talking about quoting, and quoting is where you obviously go out and you're getting new business and you're proposing to do new business with customers. The worst part of my day was honestly getting back from a long day of quoting and then having to do all the quotes, which took a long time. I had a little spreadsheet type thing that I would use, and you'd have to figure it all out, put the values in, and spend hours on Staples' website copying and pasting model numbers and things like that. Whereas this is just super simple, and you can knock out a quote in just a couple of minutes, and it looks really professional, and it has a bunch of added tools that help you be in the best spot you can as a sales rep by the end of it. So let me show you that. Manage quotes. You just go to the quote system and click on New. And this is very similar to the order forms, except for you don't have to fill out as much information. The only thing we make you fill out is company name. And so I'm going to call this Cats Demo Co. And I'll be the contact. And then we also like you to have the email address. I like you to have the email address. It's not required because you could print out a quote and hand deliver it to the customer. But I like the email address because actually we have extra functionality when you mail it over just hand delivering it to them, and it really makes a difference. And so always mail it, even if you're going to hand deliver it, because of this functionality I'm going to show you in just a second. That's all you have to fill out. You can fill out this information if you want to. The customer will have to fill this out before they can place an order. So if you want to stop them from doing that or keep them from doing that, you could fill out this information for them, but totally not necessary. I know that quotes are a numbers game, and you just do as many as you can and hope that some of them stick. So same thing as an item on a quote. You get a couple printers that they have when you're cold calling, and Reman HP printers. We'll do the same 2600 just to keep the same model going on here. Black, cyan, yellow, magenta. Click save. You can do your pricing there and save that. And so now we have an item on the quote, and we can show the customer. Now there's two different quote types. One is a simple quote, and it looks like this. It's very simplified. It's very clean, very easy to print, and it just shows your business name. It actually should have your logo here. I'll make sure your logo is uploaded. But yeah, it should show Cartridge World logo here, and then all your name. This is all the customer's name. Look how quick that was to create this quote and then give them their prices and send that out to them. So it just took a few minutes to do that quote, and looks really professional. Here's another difference. If you go to use advanced quote template, this one's a little more fancy. And if you notice, it also has an annual order thing. So let's say they order these 4 times a year. You can show them a bigger number that it's extrapolated out through time. So if I preview this, it's going to show the advanced quote template, and you can see there's more graphics up here. There's more graphics down here. They have the brands down here. So it's a much more graphic laden quote. So this is not the one to print out. This is the one to sort of email to them. And so, they show our price, and actually some of the things are turned off. So let me make sure those are turned on. Show retail prices, show printers, show cartridge yields, show savings. Okay, I want all that to show as default, so I'm going to go ahead and preview that. So now you get a much more serious quote. So you have the printer name here, the product, the yield. It also shows us the cost per page. And so if you want to sell them on a printer that has a better cost per page than the one they're using, you could quote their cartridges, and then you could quote a different printer's cartridges next to them, and then show them the difference between the cost per page. So you can see that you're going to really save them a lot of money over time with this other printer if you were doing that in a quote. The retail price is here, your price is here, the savings are here. If you order these products today, you're going to save $188. But here's the big one: based on 4 orders per year, annual savings will be $172.40. And you extrapolate that price over time, so it looks like a much bigger savings throughout the year. So that's kind of the basics of the quote. But here's what makes our quote stand out from anybody else's quote. If you email this to the customer, and let's say you're going through this, if you were my customer and I'm talking you through this, I basically ask you a time where I can go over the quote with you. You tell me to call you at 2 p.m. and we'll go over the quote and just take a few minutes, and send this to them right before you're supposed to call them. So it's fresh in their inbox, and it's not like buried from the days worth of emails. And when you call them, say, I just sent you a quote, would you please take a look at it? And they open it up. It's basically going to be a PDF that looks just like this, but it's going to be a PDF file. And so when they're looking at it, you go through this. Okay, here's your printers. Here are your cartridges. This is the retail price. Our price is $59.49. You're going to save, almost $50 per cartridge on this. And if you order this 4 times a year, your annual savings will be $172.40. At this point, in a normal quote, the only thing you can do is go, well, okay, well, thanks for your time. Call me if you need anything. And that's really like a not powerful place to be as a sales rep talking to a customer. Just hope you keep this quote around, and if you need anything, give me a call, because that's how you would normally do it, right? But with Easy Order, it's completely different. You can be in a much more powerful position at the end of your sales process by doing this. So this is the part. It says, don't forget, you can place an order right from this quote. Click Show Order Form to create your online order form. So what would happen is you tell your customer, say, instead of saying, okay, call me if you need anything, at this point you say, okay, did that make sense? And they go, yes. And you go, okay, let me show you how to order from me. You're not asking for a sale. You're not asking them to spend any money. You're just saying, let me show you how to order from me. And just say, click the Show Order Form button. When they click this button, it takes this quote and changes it from a quote that's in your system and converts it to a live working order form, just like we saw before with the CAT CPA company. It's going to turn this quote into a live order form. And they're going to be able to order directly from the order form that they just created by taking their quote and converting it. And so as soon as they convert it, they get that welcome email that we showed you earlier, and they can download the desktop icon and get back to this quote anytime they want to. And you can explain that to them. When you clicked on Show Order Form, you're now looking at your order form in our system. This is how you're going to order from us in the future. And you also just got sent a welcome email that will let you download an icon to go on your desktop. And when you click on it, it will take you right back to this quote. So when you need something from us, all you have to do is click on the icon. You don't have to remember a username or a password or anything. Just keep that cartridge world icon around, and when you need cartridges, remember to click on that, and all your stuff will be right there. And that is much more powerful a position to be in at the end of the day when you're quoting a customer, is now you're connected to them with that desktop icon. They know how to place an order from you. They understand their pricing. And, by this point, the next time they need something, they don't have to remember your business card or your email or find the quote. All they have to do is click on their icon, and they go back to the quote, and they can order directly from it, because now it's an order form. And so when we started showing people how to do this, they were closing quotes at a much higher rate than ever before. I think we jumped like 30% from just sending a quote out to somebody to sending a quote out and showing them how to order from you, because it's not aggressive sales tactics, although it is, but it doesn't seem that way when you're talking to the customer. You're not asking them to commit to anything. You're not asking them to order anything. You're just showing them how to order from you for next time. And we found out that closed quotes went up about 30% when people started doing this religiously with their customers and showing them how to order from them. So much more progressive tool to get the customer engaged with you, much more aggressive tool for sales and marketing. And then again, you're getting people into your system with order forms, and it really is a great way to go out and market to people. Does that make sense? Cool. Yeah, I mean, that's the worst part of the day as a sales rep is to do quotes. The next thing I want to show you, and this is not about easy order, but I feel like it's really important for sales today, because a lot of people aren't thinking in sales in the way that works in today's market. A lot of cold calling and stuff like that is the way it used to work, but people have so many blockades and doorkeepers that will keep you from the people you really need to talk to. It's really hard to go out and sell the traditional way. And so let me show you something that I share with a lot of my people, and this is, again, not easy order related, but it's a new way to market. And this is the way I market easy order to other people who sell ink and toner cartridges. So I practice what I preach. LinkedIn is a huge thing. It's like Facebook for business, kind of. And anybody that's in a business probably has a LinkedIn account. If they run a company or if they do whatever, with a business professional, they'll have a LinkedIn account. And I subscribe to the Sales Navigator, and this is something you may want to work up to, but I want to mention this to you because a lot of people don't even think like this. Sales Navigator, I think it's $89 a month, but it gives you access to do all this stuff. So for example, if I'm looking for a customer and I want to target customers, a lot of times people don't realize that you can target customers from anywhere you want to based off what they do. And so you think about lawyers, you think about doctors, you think about CPAs, all those people print a ton of stuff. And instead of trying to get the onesie twosie mom pop things that are near you, you can go after the companies that really do print and will really change the tide in your sales because they're going to order a lot. And so, for example, if I wanted to go lawyers, right? And I want to check on lawyers. I have in the United States. No, this is the world. I can break it down to the United States. So I got 237,000 lawyers in the United States, and you can even break it down into your town, your state, whatever. And so you can break these down from 237,000 to 50,000. But that's still a lot of leads, right? And so all you want to do is look at, this is like when I was talking to my wife and my daughter about this, I was telling them about this new thing I was doing a few years ago. And I was like, you can really look at people and say, okay, he's the founder and CEO for Lawyers, Physicians, Small Business Specialists. Okay, well, this guy probably prints a lot, so I'm going to click on him, check him out. He's from St. Louis, Missouri, advertising marketing. Okay, cool. He's actually not a lawyer. He works with lawyers, so I'm not going to use that guy. So you can instantly weed out a customer. But here's helping lawyers, campaign director. Okay, here's a good one. Lena Kettelson. So she works with lawyers, does all this kind of stuff. With this LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you have these things called in-mails. And an in-mail means if you're not connected to them in any way, and it shows you how you're connected. I'm actually connected to this person through one of my friends, Kimberly Smith. And so from here, I could say, oh, Lena, how do you know Kimberly Smith? I went to high school with her, which I did. Just so happens to be connected to this person. Anyway, my name's Kat Catrola, and we help people save money. We know that business costs, 20% of business costs are printing, and a lot of people overspend that, and we want to help you out with that. So, could I get you a quote on some of your items? All you have to do is send me a couple of printers that you have, and I'd love to get you a quote on that. Thanks for your time. Have a great day. And you send that in-mail out. And what you're doing is you're marketing to people, and you're getting right to Lena. You're not getting to her secretary or the person trying to keep you away from her. You're getting a message right in her inbox. And the difference between a LinkedIn message and a email is because if you notice, I do a lot of LinkedIn stuff. I have one message in my inbox right now because I probably get maybe 10 messages on LinkedIn in a month. And so I would rather be part of those 10 messages that I see within a month rather than the 300 emails that I get every day, on my email. And so instead of email marketing, if you can do this LinkedIn marketing, you are getting right to the person who is going to buy from you. You're talking directly to them. All I can tell you is go to hell, but you do it with such a frequency. You get 30 of these a month, and my goal every month is to send 30 emails out to new people that have not heard about Easy Order. And so your goal would be to send 30 requests for quotes out to people who are serious people who print and maybe want to do business with you. And so this is a great way to market because you can do it right from your office. You don't have to go anywhere. You can target people from anywhere in the country. You don't have to, because it's online sales, you don't have to sell in your area. And, it's one of those things where if you start thinking in this way of marketing, it can really change the way you market and the way you get business. And so people respond a lot to this. I mean, I'll get people who, instead of just ignoring it, will say, no, thank you for your time, I'm not interested. And I would rather get that than no response, and a lot of times when you email people, you just get no response because it's like spam. But this is not spam, it's more personal. And especially if you're connected to them through somebody, you can throw out that name and they're like, oh, so it's like it's a soft call instead of a cold call. You're kind of coming at them like this. So again, I don't want to get too much off into this. I can teach you a whole class on LinkedIn marketing. I just wanted to mention this to you because a lot of people are doing this and they're getting success with it because they're targeting customers, they're getting past the gatekeepers, they're sending messages directly to people who are in charge and could do business with you. And so it gives you a way to talk to people you never could talk to before and then use Easy Order to help close the deal. That makes sense at all? Cool. Okay, well, yeah, well, I mean, I'll tell you what, it's easier. It's like it's working smarter, not harder. Because if you get in your car and you run around and you try to get business, I mean, it's a lot of face-to-face stuff, and you can use that personal touch when you email those people and you talk to those people, especially if they'll like take a phone call with you or something. You can use that personal sales touch, but you just can't get to as many people as you can on something like LinkedIn. And so I'll tell you what, I have on our YouTube channel. /user/ RemanResource. I have a whole series that I went into outside sales with Easy Order, and I went over the whole thing about LinkedIn. So it's under our webinars, and where's the videos? Here it is. We dig deep into, here's the sales training one. So this sales training one will be like best practices. We'll talk about LinkedIn. So I'll send you a link to this one as well. So you can kind of go over that LinkedIn stuff on your own. And if you ever want to have, if you ever do get into it and want to have a session on just that, I can go into a session with that for you as well. I just wanted to mention that because a lot of people don't even think that that stuff is even possible. And it is. And it's really a great way to market to people because you get right to them. Okay, so that's basically Easy Order. We have the order forms and we have the quotes. There's a ton of other stuff I can go over, but I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information right now. And so you're just dangerous enough to get out there and maybe create an order form for one of your customers, send them the welcome email, see what they think, get their opinion on it. And then once they tell you this is super awesome, which most customers do, then you get another one on and you get another one on. You just kind of slowly build that customer base up to where you're not having to take their order over the phone. And then when you get into, quoting people and you start going to do, new business, you can definitely use this to respond to quotes quickly. So that'll help you with that. Keeps them all organized, keeps them all, in the same order. And you can even follow up and do things like that with the system. And those are the two main things of Easy Order. We do have different things like marketing tools. I won't get into that very much, but we have marketing tools. We have all kinds of things to help you out. The download section, this is where I was telling you those worksheets are. Start Your Customer Files. These are the 2 PDFs where you can take the customer's information down. And then this marketing materials over here, we have a Cartridge World branded leave behind piece. So basically what it is, the customer won't give you the time of day and you still want to leave behind something that talks about Easy Order and what you do. You can have this marketing piece, so you just kind of put your info up here. It's customizable. You can change that. And then it talks about easy ordering. We put this icon on your desktop, goes right to your thing, easy as 1, 2, 3. Also, the video that we have for you guys to sell this, if you want to do a newsletter and tell all your existing customers that you have this and it's ready to go, CartridgeWorldDemo.com is a professionally voiced over demo video that will tell them what Easy Order basically is about. It's all branded to Cartridge World. And so it just shows, the desktop icon and what that looks like and how they order from it. And basically, you don't have to do any of the selling. You just say, hey, watch this video, and if you're interested, fill out this form, send it back to me, and then we'll create your account. And so those 3 pieces together, the leave behind piece, the demo video, and the worksheet are how you're going to kind of get going. A lot of people put the demo video, that CartridgeWorldDemo.com, they put that in their email signature. So they, every time you email somebody, it says, hey, check out our new online ordering, watch this movie, and then, ask me how to get your free account. And then when they go, hey, how do I get that online ordering? Then you just tell them, just send me this worksheet back and I'll set you up, or just give me a list of your printers and I'll create one for you. So it's a great way to get started with that. But I would just start, like I said, start this week, put your best customer on that loves you guys, and you have a few of those, obviously, and just say, hey, I'm trying this out. Use it with them because they're going to be, keen to work with you and help you, get this going. And then you just walk through it with those customers, and then once you do that, you have a little more under your belt. You can do it with the next customer, and then it grows, and then you become really familiar with it, and it's just rinse and repeat after that for everybody. So any questions about anything we kind of went over? Yes, absolutely, man. And that's one of the biggest things. It'll be your best, best employee, your best buddy, because it'll keep everything organized into one spot. You don't have notes everywhere and invoices everywhere. I mean, you'll still have all that, but it will definitely reduce your running around time. So you can focus on other things. And if you actually really dig in and really lean into the program and start putting everybody on it, it really does, do all the work for you. There are ways, if you want to, and we can talk about this later, where you can import your customer list. So let's say you can export your customer files from a point of sale. You can actually import all your customers all at once. And then all you have to do is find out what printers they have or cartridges and then put those on their order forms. There's ways where you can export your pricing or the system pricing, and then you price the items in a spreadsheet and you can import them back in. So there are ways to kind of automate the setup of this, which is putting your customers in and getting your pricing in. If you ever need help, if you ever forget anything that we've gone over or need something, you can always go to this help icon right here. And there's 2 versions of a ticket, just a general support request. Hey, I don't know how to do this. Can you help me figure this out? And one of our reps will send you back a support ticket help. Or if you find something that you're adding to an order form, customer's order form, and we don't have it or you can't find it, you can also say, hey, I can't find this, or I'm having trouble adding this to an order form. It's new. You guys don't have it. And so we'll take that request. We'll go do all the research for you, add the item to the system, and let you know when it's ready to put on an order form. So you can always get it there. And then again, I'll send you at the end of this meeting a link to the YouTube channel, which has tons of information on every part of Easy Order. You can just watch those kind of at your discretion. If you want to learn something new, just go watch a new video, for the week or whatever, and you can get that down. One thing I do want to go over with you before we get started, or before I let you go, is your settings and preferences. I just want to make sure all those are dialed in because I'm not sure if I had all the right information as the account was set up. And so is this y'all's main phone number? I know it's different from the one I called. Oh yeah, we probably don't want that for the customers. Okay, and address is good? Okay. And then what's your tax rate there? 1052, no worries. 1052. And what's your tax rate there? Okay. That's going to be the default whenever you come up. And remember, if you sell to another state or something, you can change the tax rate per customer per order form. You don't want to, we won't do the delivery or shipping things. Is shipping a taxable item for you? It is for most people. Well, you don't have shipping, so that doesn't matter, I guess. Can customers request local pickup? Okay, good. I can turn that off. We want to display their savings. We want to display. Would you like to display the order urgency options? So the order urgency options are no rush, 2 to 3 days, or need as soon as possible. Okay. Do you have a person that's separate from your business that you send like printer repairs to? Okay, cool. They can send, there's a little wrench next to any of the printers when you're on it, and you can, if they click that and you get something that says, so-and-so customer said that this printer has a problem, and then they tell you what's wrong with the problem, that's because they've clicked that little wrench and sent in like a technical support request for the servicing of their printer. Okay. Customers can create their own order forms. Now this is something that's kind of more advanced, but I don't know if it's on your page or not yet. Let me go look. EdgeWorldUSA.com. What is that zip code again? 15701. On the Cartridge World landing page that you guys have, this is you. I can add buttons. Man, they just put a ton of graphics up there. You have these two buttons that are live right now on your system. It's My CW Quote and My CW Login. Basically, what these two buttons do is they interact with Easy Order. And so a customer can actually go and get their own quote just by logging into the system from here and requesting a quote. I can turn that off for you if you don't want customers to do that right now, but just know that people can find you through here and try to get a quote through here. So just letting you know that exists. And if you want people to not be able to do that right now, you can turn this off, or you can just leave it on and see if they can figure it out. Okay. Everything else is kind of standard. I'll click save on that. So, okay, so now everything's good. All your addresses are correct. All your info is correct. I do want to show you the to-do list real quick. The to-do list is anything you need to do in Easy Order is going to be here. So if you get an order that was received, like here's earlier, here's the order that I put through. This is what it looks like. So this is how you'll get orders. Notice on your orders, it'll say, you know, the bill to and the ship to for the customer. All their stuff will be here. This is how much they've saved on the order. We also have this really cool delivery by department, which if you print this out and send it with your box of toner, the customer knows exactly what printer and which cartridges go, you know, for this order. And so it gives them kind of a delivery statement so they can take this box of toner cartridges and they know where it goes back to. So that's what the order looks like. And anything else that comes through from the to-do list, whether it be, you know, you got an order received, or maybe you sent a quote and then it's gone to follow up, it'll all be here. Any notifications that you need, maybe a customer changes their contact information, it's all gonna be here. So I would say go here at least once or twice a day just to make sure you don't miss anything. Everything will be emailed to the email address that's right here. This email address, all the orders will be emailed to that. And if you ever wanted to do another email address, you can just do a comma and, you know, do another email address, and then it'll send out to a second email address. So if you want somebody to be copied on the orders, you can. But that's basically it. You know, I think you're dangerous enough to just start getting people on the sucker. But exactly, you know, that's all you have to know is enough to be dangerous. But I'll tell you what, man, my name's Cat Control. I'm the owner of RemanResource. I created the system and everything, but I work with my guys all the time. So if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to call. I actually answer the phones for the company on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so if you want to catch me, you can call us on a Tuesday and Thursday. I'll answer the phone. If it's any other day, Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, I have a support rep named Debbie, who's just awesome, and she knows the system back and forth, and she can help you any of those days. All right, man? I'll send you a follow-up email with your username and password and the links that I gave you. And if you have any other questions or need anything else, let me know. You guys have a free account for 6 months. So really get into this and use it as much as you can to the end of the 6 months. It's not even a big deal to jump on it and keep paying for it. All right, man. Thanks so much, Denny. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.